My job is to help heal the last thing that you would think needs to be healed. You know, when we think about healing, we usually think of our heart, we think of our soul, we think of our body, we think of past trauma that we've experienced, and all of that needs to be healed, no doubt about it. But what we have not really taken into account is the side effects of all those injuries that are done to us and that we have done to ourselves. So the side effects of trauma that we experience as a child, the side effects of injuries to our body, people betraying us, what it impacts more than anything else is our communication. It causes our communication to become something of a non-factor. Now, let me tell you something. When your communication becomes a non-factor, you are in fucking trouble. Because in a universe, a world where communication causes everything to move, there is nothing that's moving that's not moving based upon some communication coming from somewhere. Everything is in motion because something told it to be in motion. Where we are on the food chain is such that we have the power in us to speak and something happen. Now, what has to happen to cause a being to drop down from a God status to an everyday average Joe status is the fact that their communication has no power in it. Think about that. It's because their communication has no power in it. In other words, they can say a thing and the universe around them, the beings around them, don't feel you. Don't really hold what you're saying as accurate. The question is why? In our last conversation, I talked about how you fucked over yourself and how you continue to fuck over yourself. How when we don't show up as our authentic self, when we alter ourselves to please people, to compete with people, so that we can have one-ups on people, to prove things to people, whatever this case may be, every time you alter the original, you just fuck yourself and you don't even know it. What you are saying is that the communication that comes from someone else is more powerful than the communication that comes from you. Every time you alter yourself to try to speak more like you think someone else wants you to speak, to express yourself more like what you think someone else wants you to express, what you are saying, you are bowing to their communication and you are saying that you have no real power in yours, such that you have to alter yours in order to fit into theirs. Now, let's talk about what's this foundational problem in your communication. What's the foundational problem is that you don't understand the difference between truth and honesty. Yes, you don't know the difference between truth and honesty. See, depending on who tells the truth is usually in favor of the person telling it. But honesty is not that way. Honesty is a truth that exposes you. It is a truth that sets the ship right. It is a truth that puts feeling behind it. So you have truth, but you have a certain degree of feeling and passion and emotion behind it that exposes where you really are. As you get exposed to where you really are and people can see where you are, it restores power back to your communication. Because here's the thing why honesty is so important in communication. Honesty brings about trust. When beings that reside in human bodies feel the vibration of your honesty, they trust you. The truth does not have the same vibration as honesty because honesty has truth, but honesty has your real feelings in it. Here's how I define honesty, and I want you to really juggle this and work with this in your life. I define honesty as the truth you struggle to tell to those you struggle most to tell it to. Now, you might want to write that down and don't leave this conversation without taking that to action. Honesty is the truth you struggle to tell to those you struggle most to tell it to. What does that mean? That means you can meet a perfect stranger and you will run down your entire life to that perfect stranger, no problem whatsoever, because that person doesn't know you, have no history with them. But there are certain people in your life that the moment it's time for you to be honest, you start stumbling all over yourself. You are afraid And I want you to know something. Those people are very special people to you. Even though they cause this, what I call a traffic jam in your mind, they are the people that gives you the greatest opportunity to experience the greatest breakthrough of your life. Because the moment you tell them the truth that you struggle to tell, you are going to experience a major opening in your communication. There are people that are going to instantly begin to trust you because you were honest with them. Honesty is about an on-time thing. It's about you telling the truth on time. In other words, when the incident is actually happening, you say to the person what you really feel and think, and it's not about you trying to get one up on them, but it's about you exposing where you really are. That takes courage. And every time you demonstrate that everyday courage that comes from honesty, here's what happens. Your communication becomes stronger. Beings feel the vibration of the words coming from you and they listen. And then when you say a thing, something happens. When you say a thing, when you ask the universe to move on your behalf, the universe moves. Why? Because it's what you are saying is accurate. Your honesty makes it accurate. We say the truth shall set you free, and it does. But it's also the truth that makes you a prisoner. The truth that you hold back, the truth that you don't tell, makes you a prisoner. And honesty gives you an opportunity to set yourself free from the truth that imprisoned you. I'm M, CEO of the Soul Focus Group, and I approve this message.